Welcome back, one and all, to another edition of the Say What You Like Sports Podcast. I am Phillip Enriquez with my partner, Eric Hernandez, and we are going to be recapping Week 7 in the NFL as well as giving our predictions for Week 8. So what are we going to start off with, right? The recap?
Yep, and let's start to Thursday Night Football, where the Philadelphia Eagles beat the New York Giants 22-21 on a Carson Wentz game-winning touchdown to, I believe, Boston Scott. What are your thoughts on that one?
You know, I think the Eagles are slowly but surely rounding into form, not as a great team by any stretch of the imagination, but as the lead dog in the NFC East. I think Wentz has been playing better the last 2 weeks. And like you said, these little known or unknown players are starting to step up.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to notice that. So I think that's the team to beat.
Yeah, you have like Fulgham, the wide receiver, who, as a Niners fan, caught that game-winning touchdown against us. Yeah, I'll look at the Giants, and man, literally, the image of that game is capsulized in Evan Ingram. You had Danny Dimes threw a perfect pass. It couldn't get any better. Right through Evan Ingram's hands. He catches that. They probably win that game. But at the end of the day, too little, too late, and Philly walks away with the win, and sad to say, control of the NFC East with 2 wins. So now on to the Sunday early games. We have the Detroit Lions beating the Atlanta Falcons 23-22. And only the Atlanta Falcons can score a touchdown and it be a bad thing.
It really was. And look, Detroit, now they're on a roll. 2 straight wins now?
Yep.
Matt Stafford looked like he's shaping up, getting back into form. And look, they just pulled off the trade with the Cowboys for Everson Griffin. They feel like they have a run. They're buying right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's good to see, that them kind of come up. We're both kind of Matt Stafford fans. So it's nice to see him get some shine. Guy who's had a lot of shine recently is Baker Mayfield. And after a rough start, he lit the Bengals up. I think 4 or 5 touchdowns. He couldn't miss.
No, he started the game off though. 0
for 5
or something like
pick,
with an interception. That's what got Odell Beckham Jr. He went down in this game.
Yeah.
Right, making the tackle on the interception, the early interception. But yeah, after that, I think it was perfect.
Yeah, and that game-winning touchdown to Donovan Peoples-Jones, that was an amazing throw. Unfortunately, Cincinnati just can't seem. They get so close. Joe Burrow's getting right to the very top, and they just don't have the whole team to kind of get it over.
All I'm going to say is this: 2020. Who would have ever thought that Cleveland-Cincinnati was must-watch TV?
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Big
we
time,
never saw that coming.
No. Let's see. And then we got the New Orleans Saints establishing their winning ways over the Carolina Panthers, 27-24.
I took the L on this one. I took Carolina, but man, Carolina showed a lot of fight. I know why I picked them. You look at them, Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's a good quarterback, underrated quarterback. You look at Matt Rule and being a first-year head coach, and this team's playing harder than ever. The Saints, they're a really good team, but I just don't know if they're like that top tier to be feared in the NFC.
There's something wrong with them underneath.
Yeah.
They're talented enough to beat teams like Carolina because Carolina's still kind of growing. If you were to look at the arc on these two teams or like a graph, I think that New Orleans is close to kind of dipping. Whereas Carolina, if they can continue this, will keep shooting up and up and up. Something's wrong with New Orleans. I don't know. I feel like there's something bigger. Then you have Tampa Bay, nipping at their heels with that division. I'm not sure with New Orleans. Anyways, Buffalo gets back to their winning ways, beating the helpless Jets 18-10, which was a closer game than I originally thought.
The Jets were actually up for a while, right?
Yeah.
Until late. Look, the Jets, I wouldn't pick them over just about anybody. Maybe they could beat the Cowboys, but Buffalo has a big matchup upcoming in Week 8. This one's against the Patriots, and they can lay a lot of demons to rest this week. So I'm interested in that one.
Yeah, I was shocked. I think that I was shocked it was that close, but then you're probably thinking maybe they're looking ahead to New England. They come off of 2 bad losses, kind of getting their feet together. The Jets came out, and Sam Darnold's trying his best, but it's sad, but it looks like the Jets are going to have to strip that whole team down to the studs again and rebuild from the ground up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Speaking of teams that may have to strip things down and build up again, the Dallas Cowboys go to Washington and get just dismantled 25-3.
There's a whole hell of a lot of things wrong with the Dallas Cowboys that I don't have the time to get into here, but nothing good for the Cowboys. And, the biggest weakness was the offensive line, and the biggest strength for Washington was that defensive line. It showed. I think they had 6 sacks. Knocked Dalton out of the game on a dirty hit, but still knocked him out of the game. And look, at least Washington feels like they have a legitimate shot to win this NFC East.
Green Bay was back to their winning ways as they hand Houston another loss, 35-20. And for me, really quick, you feel for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
And you feel for J.J. Watt.
Yeah. They don't deserve it.
They don't deserve this. And I think J.J. Watt, I mean, if Houston really wanted to be, to do right by J.J. Watt, you either trade him to the Packers or you trade him to the Steelers.
Yeah.
You either let him go with his brother or you let him go home to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, even more interesting than the game is, you should let an all-time great Texan, an all-time great player, send him off the right way.
Yeah.
Don't let him die here
with
the rest of the team.
No.
I guess you can say Watson's got his money and he's got years ahead of him.
Yeah, I see keeping him. He's a quarterback. You're going to build around him. He's
right, but that's true. And Green Bay, look, Green Bay is going to be a 12-win team this year. Yeah. It's just they got to show me some grit, some determination come playoff time.
Yeah, they have to show that they can get punched in the mouth and keep fighting.
Right.
Because this is 2 straight years they've lost to physical teams, and I don't know if they can beat Tampa Bay in a playoff game.
Right. I don't know if I would have them as the favorite.
No. And then the matchup of heavyweights. I mean, and it lived up to the build with the Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Very good game.
Pittsburgh held on after establishing a great lead and pulled out a great win, 27-24 off of a missed Gostkowski field goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that you lose the game on a kick, but this is the NFL. I mean, one play determines the game sometimes, like it did there. But I think Tennessee has nothing to hang their head in shame about.
No.
They fought hard. They came back, and they scared the living crap out of the Steelers for a while. And they just showed that they're as good as anybody in the AFC because right now, if I had a power rank, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are the favorites in the AFC with Kansas City.
Yeah, I think what this did was it did 2 things. It established Pittsburgh as a chief rival to Kansas City for the AFC, and it showed that, man, the Tennessee Titans are full of grit because they could have easily just packed things up.
Right, they could have folded.
Yeah, and they didn't. They worked and worked and worked. And, I mean, if it wasn't for, a missed field goal, who knows what they could have done in overtime or, the way the game was going. A game that wasn't so close, Kansas City walloped Denver 43-16. I don't even think it was that close.
No.
I mean, Denver just didn't look prepared for Kansas City.
I mean, it's Kansas City, They can be explosive, and the bomb went off, on Denver. And, look, I think Denver is a squad that's still, trying to find who they are and what they, the way they want to play, establish an identity.
Yeah.
They're honestly rebuilding. We can see that. And the Chiefs are a team off the Super Bowl. I mean, what else would you expect?
You have Drew Lock throwing a pick 6, and I think the special teams gave up 109 or 101-yard kick return.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that whenever you spot Kansas City points without having to use their offense, you're doomed.
It's
you ain't going to win. San Francisco 49ers kind of continue their winning ways, go to New England and hand Belichick his worst home loss of his career, 33-6.
How does that feel?
Amazing. It was cathartic to watch them just run all over them and kind of, New England just has so many issues.
We both picked Frisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that Frisco, their running game and their ability to attack the edges, I mean, Kyle Shanahan, win or lose, has always put up points against Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Bill Belichick this time, he just didn't have the offense to keep up with them.
No.
And it was a blowout real quick. Another blowout, Tampa Bay going to Vegas and cashing out on the Raiders. 45-20. I mean, whoof.
I don't know. Tom Brady, it seems like I say this every week, but he, in his old age, he continues to amaze you. And right now, I think they're rounding into form, and they look like legitimate Super Bowl contenders now to me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're it took them a while, but their defense is aggressive. I mean, they can run the ball. They can throw. I don't know about adding Antonio Brown. Brown, but we'll see. This team is loaded with weapons, and maybe Brown will mind his P's and Q's now, but who knows? All I know is that, Tampa Bay has to be one of the most well-rounded teams and up there for Super Bowl contenders. From an older quarterback to a younger quarterback, we're looking at Justin Herbert getting his first win as the Los Angeles Chargers beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 39-29.
Yeah, I really like Herbert, and he had a
Yeah.
big game.
Yeah.
And right now, I think he's playing just as good a ball, if not better ball than Burrow.
Yeah, I think he has more weapons. I think
He
that
does.
yeah, I think it's neck and neck. I think the difference is really quickly is I think Burrow's done it for a little bit longer, just because he's been in there. He started, whereas we're seeing Justin Herbert. He took a couple games to get acclimated, but I mean,
What I'll say for Herbert though is watching him throw as opposed to looking at Burrow. I like Herbert's touch. I think he has
yes,
more touch on the ball than
Yeah.
Burrow. I
Yeah.
really do. I mean, like you see him, he can throw one just softly over somebody's head, right accurately down the field. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that's rare in quarterbacks these days. You don't see that many throws like that.
No, yeah, he's
He's able to make them.
man. If you're the Dolphins, you better hope Tua works out.
Yeah.
You better hope
have
Tua
to.
works out
Yeah.
because Justin Herbert's looking great, and I think the Chargers have their their franchise
Yeah,
quarterback.
they're a better team than the Bengals. So
Yes.
I don't want to say like,
Yeah.
oh, he's the
But
man.
throw for throw, I can see why.
Yeah.
It's the gap isn't ridiculous
Right.
as far as those two, and I think we're getting ready to put Minshew Mania in the ground.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
Sunday night, Arizona upset Seattle 37-34 in overtime. What
That was a
game.
crazy game.
That was.
Nobody wanted to win that thing in overtime.
No.
No one wanted to win that game.
I will never understand Kingsbury. I think there was when they were in field goal range and it was first down and he lost 5 yards and went to kick a field goal.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, did he not know the downs? Did he pull a Brady?
Right.
I mean, he has to be so lucky that Isaiah Simmons bailed him out with that interception.
Oh, that was a big time play because they were on their way.
Yeah, and so, I mean, all this proves is that everyone in this division can hang with everybody. I mean, to get a winning record in this division is going to say something. To go to, basically, I expect a lot of 3-3s,
Yeah.
Everybody's going to get theirs. I mean, it's exciting. Russell Wilson, it's funny with Russell Wilson real quick before we leave this game. He did this last year. We talked about how great he is and he's an MVP candidate. But then on, about week 6, 7, 8, he has these type of games. He throws 3 picks.
Yeah, he does.
He comes back to earth. He's explosive, and then just something happens. I don't know if it's a coaching or if it's him, but he always has these stinkers every 8 games in. Either way, it's a tough division and a good win for Arizona. And finally, the Monday night game as the Los Angeles Rams welcome the Chicago Bears and stomp the Chicago Bears 24-10. It wasn't even that close. I mean, the Chicago Bears may go down as the biggest fraud so far.
Yeah, I took the Chicago Bears in
So
this
did I.
game. I just figured, hey, you know what? That defense is legit, and Foles is always good to pull one out of you-know-where.
Yep.
And I thought he might, but apparently I was wrong because the Rams just looked like the much better team in this game.
Yeah, better coach, everything.
Everything, across the board.
Everything across the board. I think this just shows, again, another NFC East team, NFC West team that's just, they're, 5-2?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dogfight in there. But
Yeah.
those are the games for Week 7 as we roll into Week 8.
And you, I believe you on the Pro Pick'em app got, 11 wins?
Yep.
Then I think someone else had 11 wins, right?
I believe so, yes.
I know I had 9 wins. I know you led or have been leading.
Yes. Overall, I have 75 points. A nice little cushion of 11 points right there.
Well,
Yeah.
I
It
kind of
happens.
missed the whole week.
It happens.
Yeah.
So let's look at last week, Week 7. I believe I led the way with 11. Also, Polar Pop had 11 as well.
Okay.
Bolt Dude, 10.
10.
Dill Pill walked off with 10, and Go Birds 10. So, I mean,
Okay.
we're getting to that place where most of us are within 2 wins of each other.
Yeah.
If you guys want to catch up, you're going to have to take some risks.
Yeah, right. Let's see what risks we're going to take this week because I'm opening up Week 8 right now, man. Thursday night football is going to be the Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. There's no way in hell I'm taking Atlanta, man. There's just none.
No.
I ain't doing it.
No.
I don't care. I don't care who they're playing. I'm not taking Atlanta. Give me Carolina. I actually believe in Carolina. Carolina's a strong squad across the board. They're showing fight all season long. I'll give Atlanta this. They're playing better with Raheem Morris, but I'm not dumb enough to take them yet.
No. I mean, that game where they lost to the Lions, all you had to do was just go down. That's it. Just go down. Nope, we're going to score a touchdown. For that to come back and bite them is hilarious. And,
Yeah. It's the way they lose.
Yeah, it's the way they lose.
That's the problem.
It's just there's no bigger curse. We talk about curses in baseball. There's no bigger curse.
Well, there was the Cubs.
Yeah, no, there's no bigger curse than the city of Atlanta.
Yeah, there's no city more cursed than the city of Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean across the board.
I'll say that. Yeah, across the board. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I got Carolina too. I think that they're the hungrier team. I think they're not maybe the better team. They're not the more talented team, but they fight. And I believe in Matt Rule.
Yeah, really, he's changed things around over there. So then let's look at the Sunday games, the early games. We have New England at Buffalo, AFC East matchup. I think this is the game, man. I think this is the game. I think Buffalo was looking forward to this matchup in New England, and I do expect New England to bounce back, get things corrected.
Yeah.
It's still a Bill Belichick coach team. I can see New England winning this game, but at this point, seeing what I've seen, knowing what I know so far in 2020, I think you got to go Buffalo here.
Yeah, I kind of almost want to go New England, but I just can't because it's still Bill Belichick. And until someone really shows that they can win that division, I always want to default to him, even no matter what I see. It's like trusting what I remember versus what I see.
Yeah.
But, man, at this point, I think Buffalo kind of will pull away at the end. And I think this is Buffalo's division. So, give me Buffalo as well.
And I think they're geared towards this. This is their put up or shut up game.
Yep.
Then we have the Tennessee Titans at the Cincinnati Bengals. 98% of people are taking the Tennessee Titans, and include me in that 98.
Oh man, they're gonna stomp.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be one of those games where Joe Burrow actually has a bad game. You know, he's had good games. He's put up points. He's put up yards. I think Tennessee's mad.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think they will take it out very badly on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Rookie.
Give me Tennessee big.
I'm with you on that one. Then we have the Vegas Raiders at the Cleveland Browns. This is a really interesting game.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting game. I don't expect Baker Mayfield to play or continue playing the way he played last week. And the Raiders are a very up and down team. They look good one week and then terrible the next, good again, terrible the next. You know, man, I'm going to go with the Raiders in this one.
Yeah.
That's probably an upset. But, I feel like Derek Carr is learning to take a little more risk with the ball now that he's got Ruggs. And I think, as long as they connect on the deep ball, I think that the Raiders can play the type of game that'll keep Cleveland at bay the rest of the game. So give me the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cleveland at home. Give me that running game. I think, the one thing that's kind of stayed true is I don't really trust the Raiders defense. And I think even with, Nick Chubb will be out. But Kareem Hunt will be there.
Yeah.
And they have a little bit of San Francisco 49ers where they run that type of offense where you can plug certain running backs in, and as long as they fit the mold,
right,
they're going to produce. They're going to keep the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hands until they need to give it to him. I expect Cleveland to kind of run, a couple play action shots, and walk away with the win.
Then we have the Indianapolis Colts at the Detroit Lions. This is another interesting game because Detroit's starting to get on a roll. Indianapolis has been playing pretty well in 2020. I think, though, this is where that roll stops, man. I'm going to have to take Indianapolis. I just believe in them a little more at this point.
And it's not by much. I kind of see the same thing. They're almost not similar teams, but they're kind of going down the similar path. Or I think there's talent. I just trust the coaching staff of, Indy more than Detroit still.
Right, I do too.
And, I think they're going to run the ball, and I think Indy goes in there. And they got to keep pace. I mean, they brought Phillip Rivers in to get over the hump, to make the playoffs. So you got to win these games right here.
Yeah, this is a game you have to win. Minnesota at Green Bay, next game on there. And you know what? Minnesota, I really thought they'd be playing a lot better ball than they are, especially this deep into the season. I'm really surprised. Green Bay looked good after that loss to Tampa Bay a couple of weeks ago. I think Green Bay, like I said, this is a 13-3, 12-4 team. I'm just waiting to judge them based on what they do in the playoffs. So it's regular season. Give me Green Bay.
Oh, yeah. I think Aaron Rodgers is just going to have fun with this game.
Yeah.
And he's going to have it at Kirk Cousins' expense.
Yeah.
I expect I might not watch much of this game, but I expect many pictures on Twitter of receivers looking at Kirk Cousins like, why is he a quarterback?
Yeah.
Not even why is he the quarterback. Why is he a quarterback?
Why is he here?
Yeah, exactly. There's got to be somebody else that can. Zimmer's in his one eye can throw the ball better than Kirk does at this point. Give me Green Bay to just rout Minnesota.
Okay, then we have the New York Jets at the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City has a bye week, so I think you know where I'm going there.
Yeah.
Kansas City all the way.
I still say the halftime show should be Adam Gase and Greg Williams just throwing hands.
That would be awesome.
I'll take that over this game.
Yeah, I would watch that. I would tune in for that one. Then we have the LA Rams at the Miami Dolphins. I do like Miami, but, with this, like you said, this is time for Tua to show. But I'm going to go Rams. I think, they're looking good. They beat the Chicago Bears. And, look, they're on a roll. I think, like you said, the NFC West, every team's going to have a winning record in this division.
Yeah.
These are the games you win.
Yeah, and I think, it's kind of weird for them to give. I understand why they gave Tua the bye and named him the starter. But to go up against Aaron Donald.
That's not fair.
Jalen Ramsey, and have to try to put up points with, them. I do expect it to be a good game, but at this point, I look at the Rams. They're kind of rounding into form. They're a really good team. I expect them to go into Miami and get a win.
Then you have Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Really, really a classic rivalry kind of game for the AFC North. And you know what? I think this is the time. Baltimore's at home. I think they're geared up to show that, hey, we are the champs in the AFC North. I think that means something to them. I think they're going to, give Pittsburgh the upset.
Yeah, I think they hand Pittsburgh their first loss this season. Because I see them splitting. I can very well see them splitting and Pittsburgh getting their win back at home. So, give me Baltimore to win. I think the defense, and I think Pittsburgh's defense needs to see Lamar again another round before they really get acclimated. Right. I think Ben's going to need to see this defense one time before he gets acclimated. So, give me Baltimore in a very close game, and I look at Lamar kind of just keeping them at bay.
Then you have the LA Chargers at the Denver Broncos. And like we said, Denver is a team that's in transition. They're rebuilding. So are the Chargers, for that matter. But just something about the Chargers seems like there's more life. And I think that's the ultimate gift of just having a good young quarterback.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to take Denver.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like they're going to bounce back. I think the gap between these two teams isn't that close. Denver's at home. And I sometimes you think like after a big win like that, Herbert's first win, they can come a little bit down to earth. They're both 2-5 at the end of the day.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So, what? Give me Denver at home in this one.
Then we have the New Orleans Saints at the Chicago Bears. Looks like 85% of the people are taking New Orleans on the Pro Pick'em app. I think this is one of those games where I'm going to make the pick trying to make some ground up. Give me the Chicago Bears.
You know what? That's not a bad pick. I'm not going to lie. That's not a bad pick. Because you figure it's going to be cold in Chicago.
Right.
Out in Soldier Field.
Yes.
And New Orleans, like we said in the previous one, there's just something feels off.
Something's missing.
Something feels off. It just doesn't. They don't even feel like even when they failed in the playoffs, they were still really good during this point of the regular season. And right now they're winning, but it doesn't feel right. I'm still going to take New Orleans because I can't pick Nick Foles and that Bears team after what they did to me. I'm not asking much here, guys.
Yeah.
But apparently I am. So give me New Orleans to kind of continue Chicago's slide.
All right. And then we have the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks. 86% of the people on the Pro Pick'em app are taking Seattle. I think Seattle's going to be a little pissed off coming off the Arizona loss. I think San Francisco, although they are keeping it together, there's still been just too many injuries for me to take them over Seattle.
Yeah, I don't see why any rational human being would pick San Francisco over Seattle. But I'm not going to be rational right now.
Well,
that ain't my game. Yeah, you're right. The only case I will make, and I'm picking with my heart, but the only case I will make is, Seattle's defense isn't that great.
No, it's not what it used to be.
No, it's not. And I don't know if Jamal Adams is going to play. I have no idea. I know their running backs are all banged up. And the last time San Francisco went into Seattle, they beat them. I mean, these are two different teams from them. I get it. But you know what? I think San Francisco built something. This game is going to tell me a lot about Jimmy Garoppolo because he's got a receiver.
It seems like we say that every week, though.
This one's different.
Yeah, why is this one different?
Well, this one's different because every time there's always an excuse. When he's great, there's always a reason why. Oh, it's the defense. Oh, it's the running game. He's not going to have a great running game.
Yeah.
You know, their defense, Nick Bosa and Richard Sherman aren't patrolling that defense. Right. You know? And also, this is the time where, I mean, Brandon Ayuk, the rookie wide receiver, he is making a name for himself. I mean, he's catching slants. He's catching, I mean, the big throw Jimmy threw was to him. So he finally has, while Debo's more of like a, how do I explain Debo? The way Shanahan uses Debo Samuel, I mean, he's jet sweet.
He's a gadget receiver.
Yeah. You know, he's great at it.
Receiver.
I mean, you don't want to have to face him. He doesn't go out of bounds. He doesn't fold. But as far as going deep and being a traditional wide receiver, I think that's Brandon Ayuk. I think he's their number one receiver. And I want to see, when I talk about Garoppolo this game, here's a receiver. You're going to have Kittle, and you're going to have Ayuk.
Yeah.
Show me
you have your outside-inside combo there.
Show me what you can do with them. Show me you can connect. Even if you don't win or lose, show me you can go deep. Show me you can, because he did good against New England. We'll talk more about it later, but, you know, I want him to grow on that. You know, and this time he won't have Jeff Wilson. But I still think, that being said, I think they'll be able to score, and I think they walk away with the win, you know, 23-20.
Okay, then we have the Sunday night football game that unfortunately it was too late to get this thing flexed out. Woo. Sorry, everybody. It is the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles. I hate the Philadelphia Eagles. I can't stand the Philadelphia Eagles. They are without a doubt the most hated team in my eyes. And I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm not insane.
No?
I just don't see... Look, Dalton's not expected to play.
No.
He has not been officially ruled out, but I doubt he's going to make it.
No.
So you're looking at Ben DiNucci.
You're not a DiNucci believer?
No, I'm not a DiNucci, but he's going to have to make me a believer by beating my most hated rival of a team for me. But I just don't see that happening. So, look, man, there's been too many injuries on the offensive line. The defense just got its head up their ass. I don't know how to explain that. We'll try later. But Philadelphia's been playing better. Give me Philadelphia.
You know, it's one of those games where if I wouldn't have been shocked because Philly plays down to the level. Sometimes plays below the level of their company.
They do. That's why it's tricky.
So, I mean, but yeah, I think what kills this team is it's not just a piece missing from that offensive line. It's like that whole offensive line. And the one thing that Philly can still hang their hat on is they have great defensive line play. I expect that to be the difference. I don't expect this to be a particularly great game. I mean, this game could be 14-11.
I do see that. Yeah. I see something like that. Yeah.
You know, and so I'll take Philly too, but who knows what to trust in this division?
You don't. You really don't. I won't be surprised either way, but you know, I just can't pick them. I just can't do it. So then that leaves us with the last game of the week, the Monday night football game. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the New York Giants, and there must be 1% of the Pro Pick'em app picking the New York Giants.
Daniel Jones. I didn't know Daniel Jones was on the Pro Pick'em app.
Yeah, Daniel Jones must have downloaded the Pro Pick'em app. So, look, man, this is Tampa Bay all the way. They're on a roll. The New York Giants are literally tripping over their own feet sometimes.
Jesus.
Like I said, the whole NFC East, if they're not playing each other, I'm not picking any of these teams. And, you know, that's why I picked Philadelphia, because they're playing another team. But New York Giants don't have that luxury. Give me Tampa Bay. Yeah,
the Bucs all the way. I think that, I mean, you saw what that defense did to Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
What are you going to do to Daniel Jones? You know, I think this is not a game that's going to be fun or exciting halfway through the third quarter unless you're a Bucs fan. But at the end of the day, I think I was going to say New England. Damn. Tampa Bay, you know, just keeps on rolling. Finds, you know, their grooving continues to go. And the Giants, I mean, they're picking for something. They're playing for picks at that point.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we both got Tampa Bay on that game. So that would be our picks for Week 8. I am hitting the save button to make sure that I get my picks in for the week. And again, if you want to make your picks with us here, you can download the Pro Pick'em app. The league is SayWhatchaLike, and the password is NFL 2020. And we'll be back next week recapping and reviewing the games.
Thanks.